I'm Regina Ochoa, and I run our Lazy J Country Hideaway with my husband. Jerry and I both own the place, and we run and manage. It's 80 acres, and it's a hideaway in the fact that it's lodging for respite and for entertainment and for hunting, for artists. It's just to get away, to get off the highway, to come out and experience Nebraska like you've never experienced it before.
Okay. How are we doing?
Good.
So what do you do to market your business in general?
All right, marketing has been really slow because I am my mom's full-time care person. So I've been marketing in bits and pieces, and the best marketing I have gotten so far has all been the internet. And it hasn't been my site so much as it's been off being connected with our Rural Chamber of Nebraska, as we call it, quote unquote. It's the Northwest Nebraska High Country organization. And we're a 26 member strong organization, husband and wife teams, a lot of them. And most of them are doing some sort of agritourism business in order to supplement and to be able to stay on their ranches and farms, and to encourage other people, whether they be Nebraskans from the East or people from Europe, from all over the United States, to come out and experience what the flyover state is all about. And we are very different from Eastern Nebraska, and people always go, Nebraska, why'd you move there? It's heaven. I don't want to go. I don't want to travel because I want to stay here. And I've traveled a lot. I've gone all around the world, and people always go, what's your favorite place? Right here, right here.
So you're living where you want to be.
I am so happy here. When I moved here 10 years ago, 11 years ago, I felt like I came home. It's a good fit. It really is. I've got a good pair of shoes on here.
What online tools do you use as part of your marketing efforts, and why did you choose those tools?
Well, the first online tool I started to use was Facebook, and it was because my daughters told me, you don't have to have a Facebook and be personally involved as a person on Facebook, as an individual, but you absolutely need a Facebook account as a business. And they really talked me into doing it. They set up the personal account and then walked me through all the privatization of it so that I was very secure. That was my biggest concern, having security on it. And then I took your class with the Nebraska Extension Office, and that made me more confident in what I was doing, and that started it. And then I started getting feedback right off the bat from people I didn't know, and it was amazing. But there were ranchers' wives. Initially they were people that lived here that had moved away and had just found the site by happenstance, and I love it. I love it. There's this one woman who's a pomegranate grower out there in California, lived out in Kearney, I think she said, and is on it all the time. She doesn't visit, doesn't talk, but she sends me now personal emails just to tell me that she's on site all the time so that she can check and see what's going on out here. And that to me is marvelous. So,
what other online tools do you use?
Let's see, that's fine. The other online tool that I am trying to use and building is a personal website. I really debated about going and having someone else create the website and build it, but I'm really a control nerd on that end of it, and aesthetically I wanted to have what I really wanted it to feel like. So again, I took the Nebraska Extension Office class, and again, they were able to teach me a lot, and I thought was a relatively prudent goal of having myself up and running in a year, And it's just about a year now, and I'm running. And I'm getting response, and it's working, and that excites me. It actually works. I have a lot of errors in it, and now I don't mind if I hire somebody to tighten it up, because I'm still in control of what I put on as far as content and everything. So thank you again.
So how did you get started with each of those tools? You started with your daughters, but go on with why did you put a web page together?
Well, I put the web page together because I was part of I was a member of this Nebraska High Country, and everybody had web pages. I didn't, and I really felt that I was behind the curve. I really was. They were talking about, in several of our meetings, we were comparing notes as to how most of us were getting our lodgers or visitors, and 99% of it was through the internet. And I realized I was getting lodgers by word of mouth at this time, which has been really marvelous. But my lodgers also wanted to keep in contact with me, not by email, but they wanted to see things. They wanted to hear what I was telling them, because I'd send them personal emails, but they said, well, we just want to check in every now and then. So why don't you create a blog? I was overwhelmed with that mentally. And then it was really just a mental block. Again, I thought, okay, I'll look around and check all the different blog spots, and what did I feel comfortable with, and what did I saw there were very simple ones, and then there were some that were a little more complex, and that others looked like they were going to be kind of on the front end of the site. And I thought, oh, and that's why I chose WordPress, frankly. So I was very fortunate that I found out later that that is the going company, and is that the going application? I don't know what it is. But anyway, now I'm realizing everybody's using WordPress. So I really am excited, and it was very simple because I had been already taught a lot of the skills that I needed for that. These are long answers, I'm sorry.
That's perfect.
You can, okay. Just cut me off, all right, Jenny.
No, not at all. So how much time did it take you to set up the different parts of your online presence?
Well, I have a lot of mental stumbling blocks for that, but truly, once I got going, it was no time at all to set them up.
Paraphrase that question. Sorry.
Okay. Oh yeah. How long did it take me to get through each
How much time did it take you to set up the different parts of your online presence?
The time it took to set up each one of the, I have no idea really. But it really, actually each one to set it up was very simple. Again, I'm somebody who wants to understand what we're setting up. So for a lot of people, they just say, oh, just go on and you just start going with it. I don't. I got onto YouTube and I started watching the different videos, because they add on a lot of little things that you should know. And really, I think I would have lost out and would have been behind the curve had I not taken the classes that I take again from the Extension office, because it kept me in front of the questions. I already had the answers, and I don't like going into anything without having the answers. It unnerves me.
So who manages your presence now?
I do. I do, and I'm not doing a really good job. I'm trying to be on my Facebook at least once a week to load up some new photographs. It's been difficult the last several months, but we're getting up and rolling again. And then for my blog, my intent was to be on at least once a month and load up new photographs. Realistically, it's once a season. And if I can add any more during that season, I'm going to. There's just so much going on around here, and I take thousands of pictures. I'm deleting loads, and every night I download my camera, every single night. And then I sit there for about a half hour deleting. And then I pick and choose which ones I'm going to use. I flag them. so that when I do have time to upload, I have to be in town a lot of times because it takes a lot to upload some of these, then I've already got them flagged and ready to go.
Are there any tips that you can share on maintaining your online presence?
Discipline.
Okay, you want to rephrase?
Oh yeah. In maintaining the online presence, I think there's absolutely, and it's necessary to have a discipline to it. You need to make commitment to it. You don't want to be having it old and stale. You want your people to come back and visit you. Well, what has she got posted today? I've posted branding shots, and then sometimes shots that may or may not be politically correct, but I'm posting it because it's real. We're eating steak. We might as well see what really range management, range steak is. And it's not all out of a slaughterhouse. This is where it grows. This is what they have to have. And if you want to check for mad cow, you've got to have your cows branded. You've got to have your cows vaccinated and all these things. So I am trying with, even on my Facebook, and if I don't put it on my Facebook, I will put it on the ranchers' Facebook, and it's their wives' Facebook. I will put their pictures of their animals and their care, and they're excited. And then I'll make a connection to that rancher, to my blog site, and you've got their circle of friends who are commenting. And all of a sudden you have a balance of comments. You have the, oh my, and then you go, oh wow. So that's really neat. And I'm excited about that. I want people to see Myrna kissing her cow, you know? I don't know.
So what's been your greatest success story?
As far as internet, I've got contacts that are writing me because of the Nebraska Life magazine. A fellow in Bangkok who was at the dentist, whose dentist subscribed to Nebraska Life, and he saw the little house. And he was so taken by it, and he's from Germany, has spent his whole life in Bangkok, and he wrote back quickly on the email and then on the website to say, I want to be there. I can't, I'll never get out there because of my commitments here. So I'm visiting this place, and this is his place of solitude. What can you say to that? I'm not going to get any money off of that, but I'm able to do what I really wanted to do, and that is touch people with the essence of what Nebraska is about, and it's a peace of mind. I mean, I remember being in Santa Cruz, walking down the aisles, and just being dead, exhausted. And someone saying, what are you looking for? And I said, peace of mind. But it's not on this aisle. You know, and I found it here.
So is there anything else that has performed totally beyond your expectations?
This house. This is really going to sound silly, but it doesn't to me, and anybody who knows me would say it's right on. When Jerry and I took over this house and bought the house, we had not the intent to rent it out or do anything. It felt like it needed saving, and I was really concerned. I loved the adults that were here. I loved Alva and Rachel Miller, and they were so good to me when my dad was dying. And they took me in, and Rachel would give me soup, and it was so good, and sitting in here in this living room. And when Jerry and I took it over, we walked around, and we could hear them talking to us. It was really bizarre. And Rachel would come over and tell me what colors she wanted the walls painted and things. And I know this sounds really bizarre, and go with it, but we really could feel her. And I walked the land, and I had several hunters come to us at that time, and this is and they asked if they could hunt the land. And I said, well, give me your name and number and I'll find out. And I walked the land and I talked to Alva and I said, what do you think? And I heard, no, absolutely not. It's not ready yet. And I didn't understand what that meant. And finally, a couple of years later, the house was painted, the place was going, we were planting buck and bronze seed out there, buck and bird seed down below. We were doing broadcasting, we had the goats in here, they were doing all of the conservation, getting the noxious weeds out of here. And then I was just down below by myself walking around and I heard Alva, you can rent now, it can go. We've got the animals are back in, they're healthy, the birds are back, you can allow people in. And it was just so weird, so weird. And that's how it started. And literally within about a week, Jerry was down here mowing and somebody knocked on the door and it turned out to be our first set of archers, bow hunters. And they have been coming back for 5 years now. And this year they came back and the young man who was with them, who's been here every year, he gives me the biggest hug and he says, it's good to be home. And that's a success to me. So anyway.
So in your marketing, you have been attempting to share those kinds of things.
Absolutely.
With other people.
Absolutely.
So is there anything in your online marketing that maybe hasn't worked as well as you thought it should or flopped altogether? And paraphrase for me, please.
Has anything of the online marketing not worked as well as I thought? Actually, no. It's all been better than I thought. I expected a lot of spamming, but the different web hostings have got tremendously good spam security and content spam, what are those clearances or filters, that's the word, that they collect it all. And all I have to do is push delete, and even if I don't push delete, it's dumped after so many days. So the things that have gotten through, I've read and I've actually looked them up to see if they were spam, and they weren't. So I was pleased that it wasn't, and it was a really honest, truthful person at the end of that email. So, and that's been good. The thing I think it's a big commitment. Absolutely. And if you want to do it, I think if you have the discipline to do it, do it. If you want somebody else to do it, let someone else do it. Really, I think it's really good to release it to somebody else.
So what has your online marketing meant to your sales or your brand and your profits and your visibility, those types of things?
I think it's gotten me a lot more visible, especially working with the online marketing of the Northwest Nebraska High Country site. And we are now the High Country site is now being created. They are with a Facebook site. They have their website, and I've just created a YouTube channel for them. So we're going to put that on the site as well, and I'm really excited about that. So that means not only can our members upload videos and YouTube things, but also our clients and visitors who would like to see it. And I think it's going to be a little more exciting and more interactive. And I really did not, I think the biggest surprise is that you know how small the world is, but it's really tiny. And the globalization of it all is really exciting. It's very exciting.
So how do you measure that?
Maybe take a half a scooch to your right.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay.
Perfect.
Sorry.
How do you measure your return on your investment of dollars and time? How do you measure?
At this moment, I don't, to be very honest. If I wanted to measure... Oh, how do I measure my time and my hours against my income, basically? I don't. I can't at this moment. It's a loss. our income is at loss at this point because I am not generating enough at this turnaround. It's also because I am not putting 100% into it. I have 3 full-time jobs. I run my mother's business, I work with my father's business, and wife, and I'm a full-time caregiver to my mom. I can't, this to me is a bonus. If I put as much effort as I am capable of and know I'd be turning over a big business, I know I would be. I have no doubt because I feel that strongly about it, and I like it.
And maybe the measurement comes in your advertising of this region with a larger group too.
Absolutely. And I think as a larger group, for the entire group, I think the big picture of it is the income is surprisingly good. I think that everybody who has got a website up or a Facebook page have been overwhelmingly pleased and surprised as far as the income that's generated. And I don't know any of us who have not been generated more, who've not had more income generated off the website than they would if they had done it without. And I think it's been great.
So if you had to do this all over again, what would you do differently?
I'd have more money in the bank. I don't know, because I'm doing it in an economic times when it's really, really tight. I'm trying I'm not doing it accordingly to the way a real business modality and plan should be written out. I know that I should maybe using a business plan and working this whole thing out. And I'm not, because I have not had the time to I have not taken, quote unquote, the time it takes to do that, and I really should. So, would I do it again? Yes, absolutely. Would I do it exactly the same way? Probably, because it's my nature.
So what changes have you made since you started your online marketing?
What changes have I made since I started my online marketing? That's a hard question. I don't know. I don't know how to answer that. I've just been more active online. I'm doing things I never thought I was going to do. I never thought I was having a Facebook page. I'm not a computer person. I don't like to be on computers. I am on a lot because I want to control what a person sees, and I really want to control the emotional content that is put out. And to me, it's really, really important. And it's not that I'm a control freak. Maybe it is. Does that make sense?
It does, yes. Are there some changes you'd maybe still like to make? Where are you going with your online presence?
Oh my. All right, give me a minute. I have to think about this one, okay? Mm-hmm. All right, where I'm going with my online presence. I created the YouTube channel because I just took it off of ours, started with the Our Lazy Chain. So and with the YouTube channel, it is my intent to create with each membership, each member of the high country, including myself, because I really believe I am only going to get better as a part of a whole. I'm not going to get better as part of a single entity. I know that. And I think that this Western Nebraska has got something that is just remarkable that people just don't know about. I really want people to experience what each individual member has to offer, and they are very different. We go online and we look at everybody's prices and go, why are they charging so little? Why are they charging so much? Because each individual is charging accordingly to what they feel that theirs is worth, what they feel the market will bear, and also what they hope to bring in to their group. And I would like to be able to go to each individual membership and do a podcast or a video cast, and again be behind and walk around and just show people what it is out here that's so exciting and something to look forward to. This is not the faces at all, and it's definitely not Yellowstone.
So are there maybe 2 or 3 tips that you'd like to leave other business owners with about your experience in getting online going?
Yeah, jump in. Don't go in quietly like I did. It gets overwhelming. If the more you read, the worse it gets. And so that is something I'd change. I would not, and I'm getting better at that. It doesn't matter. You can always undo. That's the best part. I didn't realize that. I kept thinking, oh geez, I'm committed, but you can always unpublish yourself. You can take yourself down for a while, think about it, reprogram rebuild your whole self. It is so exciting because before, when we were kids, we had to wait till we went to another school to reinvent ourselves. We had to go to a new location. Now online, you can reinvent yourself 100 times, and depending on how you feel, you can go up. And that is the exciting part. And I wish I didn't take so much time to step in. I wished I had just dove in, but it's my nature. And I'm going to dive in now much more so. This year is a really big year for me with all of this, and that's been my internal goal, is to really create a bang-up job with all of the online stuff. I don't know if I can, but I'm going to try.
Any parting wisdom?
Oh, well, the Nebraska Extension Office is terrific. And they're free, or nearly free. The classes, any classes you can take, I'd sign up for it. They are a world of good. The educators are terrific, and they really make you feel smart. It's amazing. I'm really amazed. I came away going, wow, I can do this. And that was the biggest thing. I really didn't think I could do any of this. And it's given me a confidence that I never knew I had. So, thanks.